gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Pullze Check podcast. Today, we got a very special one for you. Today, we got about 6 people in here, and it's going to get rowdy. We got my boy DiazBiffle. You know, guys, his camera is broken. I'm sorry, guys. You know, he had it all set up. Again, bro. You know, for the 3rd year straight, his camera's broken, so he couldn't do that. Then we got my boy HusKerrs. You know the vibes. Gary, Sage, and JGOD. Boys, how we doing today?
Fantastic.
Good. Chilling.
We got to play Warzone custom today. So.
We just had our best game in the whole tourney playing 2v3.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah,
Well,
actually,
they looked better. Were they still as laggy? Because they looked better.
Servers were actually great today, but the very first one was laggy off the rip, so we reset it. But after that, the servers actually weren't lagging. But we only had like 108 people in every game. So
wait, so you guys think is scumming the problem for you guys? You think?
Yeah.
Is that what you're
why
saying?
are we getting this deep already, bro? Holy shit.
Hey, listen, I told y'all it's time to spit today, all right? Y'all no holds bars, just do, you know, say whatever y'all want.
No, it's just the last so the last like 3 tourneys that we played, Scumman's been on for like 16 hours already. And so like he kind of just runs around and like he'll just die without like saying anything or like anything. And he like shit. I mean like he even messaged us saying like, yo, like my bad guys, like he's like once I get moved in and stuff, because he's moving in a couple days. It's like once I get moved in and like I'll be like getting sleep and like getting locked in, because the 2 tourneys like prior to the last 3, the 2 days prior to the last 3, he wasn't on for 16 hours, and we did very well. So it was kind of
he was focused basically.
Yeah, he was
locked in.
And, like he was calling out, you know, in stuff. So now, right now, like the past 2 days have just been like, okay, dude, like this is just annoying. It's not like just him. It's just like, you know,
Is he trying to go for number 1 again?
probably.
No, he said as soon as Warzone rank comes out, which I'm assuming that comes out
2 weeks
in like
probably.
2.5 weeks, probably.
Yeah.
That he's gonna start playing Warzone ranked. So
I thought that's what you were talking about, JGOD. No. Were you talking
Well,
about
no, because he's already number 1 in the other one. But it's like, well, if you already did that, like, what the hell else are you doing playing that
Doing
game
it
for
again?
16 hours, bro?
His
At
viewership.
least there was a reward at the
Yeah.
end. Now
Oh,
there's
true.
nothing. You already got it, bro.
yeah,
Like,
that's his
it's
viewership.
done. What are you
reward is
doing?
ad revenue.
Oh
Well,
shit!
is his viewership doing good?
His viewership is like better than it ever was on Warzone.
Oh, that's a W.
Yeah.
It'll be good once Warzone's popular again too.
Oh, that shit's good. I already said it. That might make some people's careers on that for the number 1 grind. But anyways,
for
boys,
real.
we're here to discuss Warzone ranked, everything competitive wise. The season, quote unquote. Think about it, boys. I want to say this right now. This is going to be the first start to like the first ever official Warzone League / Warzone competitive vibe. Like this is the beginning. I don't know what, you know, the next couple of years, you know, have, right? And what's to come. But technically speaking, this is the first official competitive scene that we're about to have. And it starts this Friday. Boys, tell me, HusKerrs, talk to me. What's your thoughts on everything?
About ranked?
Yeah, no, not ranked. Just like World Series of Warzone, and now like quote unquote Warzone becoming an esport now with, you know, official prize pool money on the line and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, I think this has been a long time coming for a lot of competitors like us in the call. We've kind of been wanting this since the beginning. So I'm glad that they're finally taking some steps to have some sort of competitive field for the game. I think the big concern with ranked is just hoping that there's some sort of rule set put in place to have it actually be a competitive format. Because we can talk about this later, but as it is right now, even just like the base game itself, it's not really made for competition at all. Like the TTK being extremely fast and other variables in the game, it's just not like a true competitive experience. So we'll see if they incorporate rule sets down the line, or maybe adjust time to kill or other things to kind of make it feel like a more competitive game to compete with, you know, like Fortnite, like FNCS and all of that stuff. So
Gary,
either way, I'm excited. I'm excited to just have something to grind finally, because, you know, we haven't really had anything to play for. Like the nukes was awesome for the first like month, maybe 2 months of the game. Yep. But, you know, most of us already got multiple within that time frame. So
hundreds
really wasn't. Yeah,
hundreds. or doing
Take it away,
random
Gary.
challenges every single time.
Yeah, talk to me, Gary. Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, World Series of Warzone is like something really cool that we're given a cool opportunity, and like it kind of gives us something to grind for. Like these little customs before, I was always like, there's no point in playing in it. I got to take content seriously. But now I'm like, okay, now I want to make sure that I'm playing in every single one of these and actually getting the practice and building up. Like I've been building up a little bit of passion again.
Okay,
to, like,
okay,
play in
okay.
tournaments, which I feel like I felt like there was not a chance that I was ever going to find that again when I came to like, you know, some of these tournaments. But now I'm like, okay, there's a fat land, $1.2 million prize pool. I'm like, I just want to lock it in and like try to be the best version of myself and have my team be the best version of them, like that we can be possible. And so it's like when rank comes out, I mean, Scummin does like 17-hour days. You know me, like I do like 300-hour plus months too. So like we're gonna be constantly on. HusKerrs, we're gonna try to get on. We're gonna try to get him to do 14-hour days.
God. Hey, Sage.
He's look at his face. Look at his face. He's like 14.
Sage, who's
Maybe for the first day.
who's about to grind more, Sage? Who's about to grind more? You or Scummin, Sage?
I mean, that guy puts in 10 plus hours. I don't know, me personally.
More than 10, bro.
Yeah, he put more than 10. Like me personally, like when I seen rank come out for Modern Warfare 2, I was like, it's all right. Like it's just once you get to the highest spot, you're just like usually I'm just like, what's the point to do it in now? Like I want to grind what actually matters, which is like customs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
hopefully, like, I mean, I say it a lot, but like half the time I'm like, it's either I play like, okay, rank's gonna come out, and it's either I grind to be the top for a skin, or I actually put in the practice against good players for money. And
I do both.
Well,
True.
ranked, I don't think there's no money. Like that's why I'm just like, these people play for free. Like I want to grind because the small tourneys, like I say, usually it's a Mickey Mouse tourney, but a lot of people really put in their heart into these tourneys. So it's like you usually like get the best of the best.
Think about like also your stream though. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
I mean you could
it's
look,
gonna do
look
way
at
more.
Scummin, for example. Like Scummin gained like 60,000 followers during MW ranked, something like that, because he was just grinding #1, playing 17 hours a day.
Oh
right?
my God.
And so like you could do something like that and then take the 3-4 hour break to play customs. I mean, that's what I'm going to do. I mean, I just streamed 12, 13, 14-hour days on, you know, playing no bullet nuke challenges or whatever it was, right? So imagine incorporating that into like, you know, ranked. You're actually grinding for a rank, and then customs, you're actually grinding to get better. So it's like you could play ranked all day with your squad, build up some sort of chemistry, even though it's not against like, you know, necessarily the best of the best, but you could still like absolutely, you know, put your heart into it with your boys, build up some chemistry, then go into customs and then get back on the ranked grind, right? And so you could build your stream a lot by doing that as well.
Agreed. I think if anything, it's better to do grind rank than it's going to be to grind for these small. It's long-term success versus short-term success, right? So, but D, talk to me, D. What's your thoughts on everything coming out, whether it be rank, World Series, or Warzone? But tell me what you're thinking, bro.
Jeez, man. Like, I mean, these customs, like, yeah, they provide a lot of practice, but like, there's no way. I mean, I hope, right? The World Series of Warzone is gonna be with all these snipers and all these bugs. Like, dude, I loaded into a custom game with Sage the other day. Three out of the 6 games I could even played up because I had this dumbass bug where I couldn't even see the zone either. So like I legit didn't know where I was going. I had Sage calling out like where the zone's pulling, where I have to go. Like it was chalked. And then the 3 games where I didn't get the bug, like we won 2 of them, and then I got 4th in the other one. So like, if we didn't get that bug, like I don't know, these tourneys just, they honestly just don't really care. I feel like for the competitive side of the game, they just put up the money just for like the viewership aspect.
And also on top of that too, it's even if we want to like get really good practice leading up to these regional finals and like the global LAN, like as it is right now, like even aside from the fact that we have these bugs in custom lobbies and the servers are like really laggy, we can't even we can't even play with a full 150 player custom because it'll like lag incessantly. So like today, like the tourney ran well and there wasn't really any server lag, but again, we were only playing with like 108 people. And so like if we're not able to, you know, practice in these customs tourneys with like 130, 140, 150 people, it's not the best practice we can get. Like if you compare a custom lobby with 110 people versus 150, I mean, that's like 13 more teams. Like that affects so many things. Like there might be people, like if we only play 110 and then we play the tourney and there's 150, like there could be multiple teams landing on your landing spot that you didn't know was going to happen because like you couldn't practice that. There's going to be just more people on the map, so it's going to be harder to regain. Like rotations are going to like behave differently just because there's not as many people.
Yeah, it's gonna be completely different because they're also taking out the in-game events that we can't really take out in customs, right? Because
are they?
They're not gonna have jailbreaks. They're not gonna have the restocks. They're not gonna have the fire spells. All that.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so like, it's gonna just be a whole completely different game when you get onto the World Series. So
like
it's gonna be hard to
today,
just practice for that.
like today we tried. So the new playlist came out for World Series of Warzone Trios, which they took out regular trios for. They took it out, so we were going to try the playlist, which usually is which is the set playlist, I guess, now for what's going to be ranked. Well, they added bomb drones back. They got rid of in-game events and stuff like that. But we couldn't even play it. Like even though it was like at 100 players, which is like the perfect amount of players, because once it gets past 110 players in a customs. With the amount of AIs that spawn, it starts lagging like bad. Like it will be good for like the first zone, but then right when the AI spawn, the game bad. It's just like you can't run no more. But yeah, we tried running with the new playlist, and even with 100 players, the game couldn't even run. Like everybody was lagging. It was running in slow mo. But then when we go back to regular trios, it's perfect. Like there's no problem with it at all.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. So like, I guess the thing is, okay, being blunt, right? I think we all know this is customs is the last of their worries, right? Like truly customs is the last of their worries. Like there's a lot more stuff that they're probably focusing on.
That's what I said Biffle's tweet when Biffle tweeted out Raven, like fix the bug. I was like, bro, think about how far down their list of priorities is a customs bug. Like that's just not getting fixed for 3 months minimum.
I'm literally just copy and pasting, and I'm tweeting under all their tweets at this point.
We should just every day we just retweet that.
That's good. JGOD, go ahead.
Yeah, I think like obviously the whole World Series of Warzone, like you said, you're having trouble filling the customs. I would imagine that's going to change after people get shit on in stage 1, that they're going to need more practice. That's just the reality of it. Like they're going to take the practice more seriously because that's really your only reps until you get to do the real thing.
It was great. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, so people end up missing the cutoffs just because they didn't get enough practice in. So I would imagine stage 2, you're going to have too many people that won't be able to make it in. But also by that time, hopefully they will fix a lot of those bugs and have the server issues, which they mentioned that they acknowledged. Overall, I like the whole system just because it does bring in like the entire world aspect, which is cool. Even if they're not going to have 10 spots from OC region or whatever, they could send their best, and we'll see kind of what happens on land. And I think also it'll be like an opportunity, because I would say the vast majority of Warzone players haven't had the opportunity to compete on land in front of a crowd, which
true.
I think most pro players have talked about how big a difference that is, where you go on land and you compete in front of a crowd where like people could be booing you, cheering. There could be a lot of different elements to the game. And then it's on a neutral playing field where it's not like, oh, it's just because they're in EU, their ping is better, or vice versa.
Yeah.
It's like legit, whoever makes it is there. And so I think there's a lot of advantage with that. And then like with the rank thing, I think that'll just get you more reps in between when your squad's not on, or maybe you could pick up strats from like how those play differently than the full lobbies, because I would imagine they're going to carry over that rule set, whatever they determine those rule set is over the next 2.5 seasons.
Question for HusKerrs. HusKerrs, what you doing, bro, if they put you on main stage on the main screen and you get booed, bro?
What? Why would I get booed?
What you do this? Boo! Hey, is that affecting you, HusKerrs? Or is that just like I'm curious to anybody here, right? Not just HusKerrs, but
The crowd's gonna be like, "Where's the aim assist?"
I don't get affected by that kind of stuff. I mean, I built up my mental from playing Warzone for 3 years, and also from being a streamer and having to deal with trolls and negative people every day. Yeah, that shit doesn't affect me.
Okay, he built diffy. Gary, you think you're crumbling or not, Gary?
I'm chilling, bro. I'll just be vibing, bro.
I would ask D, but D, I'm gonna be honest, I doubt you give a fuck what anybody thinks.
I don't think any one of us are really gonna be like, oh shit, like I'm gonna start playing bad, bro. Like,
Man, these
they're
guys
really in
killed
my
my
head
mood,
right now.
bro.
Oh shit.
You know what, guys? I'm gonna go home. Actually, like I'm chilling.
Oh man. No man.
Also,
Go ahead.
when War Series of Warzone got announced, people started tweeting out like, "Oh, we're gonna have customs with the max players, so it can perfectly fit it." And we had, I think, 2 to 3 tourneys that maxed out, but could not run, at all. So like max players, which is 120 now, it's not 150 as it should be in War Series of Warzone. It was max 120, and people were flying out of the sky, pressing their chute when they're at the top, and end up on the floor dead.
Is this recent?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He's
wow.
just talking about he's talking about the bad server lag that sometimes happens.
So yeah,
So-
max. That's why most customs don't fill up, because of the fact that if it gets past 110, the lobby is just bad for the whole game.
So right now, boys, you guys just finished playing custom, all of y'all. I noticed obviously since the update yesterday, or even yesterday, I felt like was the first time I was like, okay, servers were really bad, where it was in almost every single game, right? But yesterday, I was like, it was the first day where I was like, okay, the servers don't feel as bad. Did custom still feel like shit, or was it manageable today?
The actual servers, when it came to lag, it's not bad, but it's still that same whatever it is, 12, 20 tick rate servers where when someone shoots, you'll sometimes all their bullets will register at one time, so it feels like you instantly died, but on their point of view it looks a lot different.
Normal.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's you have no time to react in any way possible, outside of just the TTK being really high. Sometimes it just it all happens like that, and I don't know if that's, I mean, it just might just be the tick rate of the servers. It might not be anything to do with lag or anything.
Yeah.
I think it felt pretty similar to how pub servers did today. It was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, the servers today and the customs felt way better than they ever have been in custom tourneys. Like he was saying, I didn't feel any stuttering or skipping, but it still just isn't perfect. It's still slightly desyncy. But
Okay.
The thing is every time a custom server uses a central NA host, it doesn't lag. But and this, I think it's the same even in pubs. Anytime
Yep.
we pull an East Coast server, or even some of the centralish Eastern servers, it's always the really laggy ones. But then whenever I go to play Resurgence, I always pull the West Coast servers, and I have zero lag.
Oh.
And even it's really weird. When I queue Al Mazrah and I'm hosting, I very, very rarely pull a West Coast server. But the occasional time that I do, it doesn't lag at all. So I think the main server issue is with the Eastern servers. The West Coast servers, I don't think ever have any server lag. It's very strange, and it's been like that for months now. So I don't know if Activision is even aware of that. But yeah, I mean, it started happening since season 2. I pulled it up on the calendar the other day. The servers have been super laggy for 63 days straight now or something.
Really? Yeah. When did we know when it
from
started?
The season, yeah, season 2. When season 2 came out, that's when the server lag got really bad.
Oh shit! So it's been almost a season and a half, which
Yeah,
is
it's been
2.5
63
months.
days or something.
Oh my
So
god!
yeah,
Oh god! Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
go ahead, Sage.
It sucks too, because I mean, I've been living in the West Coast for a while, ever since way before, and ever since, well, not Verdansk there was servers for the West Coast, but Caldera to now,
Oh yeah.
yeah, there's never been it's maybe a 1 in 10 chance you're getting a West Coast server.
So it's not just me. Yeah, because I remember
Yeah.
in the early mid Verdansk, I never had this issue, but then when Caldera came out, I noticed that like whenever I would host, like play solos or I'd host in duos or quads, I would never pull a West Coast server. It was like extremely rare. It's like when Caldera came out, they suddenly like removed like 80% of their West Coast servers, or they like allocated only their West Coast servers for like LTMs or something. And it's frustrating for people like me who live on the West Coast because like I want to be able to pull the servers where I get like, 20, 30 ping, like if I'm hosting. But like literally since Caldera, like 80, 90% of the pub games I play in, I'm on like 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 ping.
Damn.
And these people that are in Texas that were able to pull Texas servers have fucking 5 ping. So that's just a little rant for me
And that's
being like a
without
West
the
Coast
bug,
player.
without the ping bug.
Yeah, I'm about to say they're all bugged, bro.
Yeah, when I was in Seattle too, like I had cable, and so like
It was
I'd
bad.
only get East Coast, so I'd get like 100 ping to East Coast servers, and so it was brutal. I could never get West Coast.
It's
When
crazy
I did,
too.
I'd get 40.
Because it's only mainly for the big map. Because I know like you would go from Caldera pinging like 70 to 80 to then loading up Rebirth and being on 10 ping.
Oh yeah, Rebirth was
That's what
great.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's like,
like,
it's
they
like
didn't
all
sort
the
of
West
really-
Coast they moved all the West Coast servers to the resurgence modes, which I like would
Yeah.
never play.
That's what everybody plays, Dick.
No.
Look. Anyways, look. Let's move forward in everything that's going on right now, right? Because we can talk about servers and we know they're dog shit. And they just released a tweet. I don't know if it's a coincidence, but Diaz tweeted at them, said fix your dog shit servers. The next day they released a statement. I don't know.
Diaz, you gotta tweet them every day, bro.
You got pulled. You got to keep doing
Imagine if
it.
he did a video.
Dude.
Just saying.
Oh,
just
I'm not
saying.
JGOD. I'm not
Then you know
JGOD.
it's serious. You know
imagine
it's
Do a
serious.
video with your face. That'll get 10
Dude.
million
Oh
views.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
Dude, even crazier. Do like a CGI penguin, bro, and just with pure passion, just talking to that shit, bro. No. Anyways, look. So, boys, as you guys all know, a lot of people don't know this. I feel like I don't know if it's getting the love that it deserves, but WSOW Warzone starts this Friday, and I feel like not a lot of people know about it. So there's just to do a quick little summary of what's going down is this weekend starts phase 1 or part 1 of part 3 of 3 parts, right? To the World Series of Warzone, right? To this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I'm going to use Central time zones from the time of 12 Central, 12 a.m. to 4 p.m. or 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Is a kill race, and the top 50 teams in this little section qualify to second to the next chance of qualifiers, right? So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the best 10 games in those 3 days. And I don't like that it's a time kill race because there's always going to be some fishy stuff, but I get it to weed it down from having who knows how many teams up to only 50. There is this weekend, they're going to have 4 hours each day. So it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with 50 teams announced Sunday night for who's going to qualify for the next one. Then I didn't even know, guys, it's the turnaround time is incredibly fast. So next Wednesday in a week is the first custom tournament in the World Series of Warzone. That's the next open qualifiers. So top 50 out of those teams, or top 50 of those, right, all compete next Wednesday. I'm curious, are they going to do custom games or is it going to be a whitelist server? I don't know how that's going to work.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, for those of you who don't know, custom, obviously you load up into a game, have somebody host, they give you a code, you go in. As opposed to a whitelist server is Activision grabs all 150 players, put them and gets their Activision IDs and puts them all into a public lobby. But it's whitelisted, so nobody else can join except if they have your Activision in there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the whitelist. I think they do that because that's where they do extra screening beyond the normal whatever, I believe, where they screen the accounts further. At least that's my understanding of why they do that, so they can end up with less chance of anything fishy.
Yeah, true.
I would hope they do the public lobbies because if they had those 50 teams in a custom lobby, like they're not making it through, bro.
Yeah, I agree. I think they definitely are different. Like the regular lobbies and custom lobbies, something's different to where obviously regular lobbies can handle 150 players, but whatever.
And there's all those other bugs associated with just custom lobbies. So
yeah, I think they'll just do
they can
regular.
avoid that.
But one thing you mentioned, a lot of people aren't talking about the actual event, and that's because pretty much the only people that would talk about it are the larger creators, but they're already invited to the final of the stage 1. So why would they talk about it? You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is.
Which is why, which is why we're doing this podcast, right? To kind of,
100%.
To kind of show everybody and kind of like that one-stop shop for everything Warzone competitive and other Warzone in general related, right? So, top 50 players next week compete on Wednesday. Then the top 25 teams go up against the top 25 or 25 invited teams, which everybody here is invited, right? Correct? You guys got an invite. Sage, D got an invite. So, and then that's stage 1 final. So that's part 1, and there's 3 parts. Boys, what do y'all think about time kill races and just the whole? Let's just talk about stage 1 in general. What's y'all's opinion on this when it comes to time kill races? Do you think this is a good format, or do you think it could have been done a little bit better? What do y'all think? Let HusKerrs, you go first.
I guess for the initial, like the first part of stage 1, I mean, it's not optimal, but they kind of have to find some way to like narrow down, thousands and thousands of people trying to like qualify for this. So I guess in their minds, the first part being like a timed kill race was the easiest way to kind of narrow it down and bring it to a smaller group of people. Yeah. And then the stage 2 where it's or the second part where it's like the stage 1 qualifiers being an actual customs game, that's good. That's like the proper way to do it. So I mean, it kind of sucks for the people that have to, start at the very beginning. And what is it called? What's the step before the stage 1 qualifiers? The stage 1 open? Oh, the open.
Open, the open qualifiers. That's this weekend.
I mean, it sucks for the people that have to go through the open, but like, I mean, honestly, I don't see another way that Activision or Infinity Ward could feasibly do it. Like, they can't just have like 300 custom lobbies running at the same time.
They couldn't do it timely. There'd be no timely way to do it.
Yeah. So that's just kind of how it has to be. I will say the fact that the stage 1 regional finals is already coming up pretty soon. I think it's May 17th and 18th. 18th, that's like 3 weeks or 3 weeks and like a couple days or something from now. Yeah. I mean, I hope they fix the server issues by then. Like, that's not even accounting for the other issues with the game, like TTK. But it's going to be very interesting to see how the regional finals is run.
D, talk to me, D. What's your thoughts on this whole stage 1 and everything?
Well, I didn't even know the stage 1 finals were that close, but like
2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah,
like
I mean the kill racing, I think they could kind of just have to do that, just because. I don't know any other way. I mean, they could do like Fortnite where they did like that tourney thing, but I don't think they're ever gonna do anything like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like their only way of doing it with the kill race stuff. But yeah, stage 1, there's the problems with the game are kind of insane. If it's only 3 weeks away, that I don't think they're changing much.
Oh man!
Like, when is season 3.5?
It's supposed to be, I believe, May 10th. I don't think they'll do update.
Yeah, my guess was May 10th.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do the update on the 17th. That'd be crazy.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about even the season 3.5 update coming out 1 week before the regional finals. Like, dude, looking at past history, there's always a bunch of new bugs.
It's gonna be so fun.
Update. So like, I don't know. We'll see
when these new pistols that are getting added are gonna be meta, and everyone just gets ghost off rip.
Oh god. 100%, dude. I already can tell you right now. There's gonna be some dumbass meta that comes out with a season 3.5 update, and it's gonna be allowed in the regional finals.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you guys
think
the
one-shot snipers are bad now?
Do you guys think that they're gonna? Go ahead.
Teams are rocking 3 or 2 snipers in these tourneys. Like,
it's just
so bro,
dumb.
It is so corny to play these tourneys. You just like you peek something, you insta die, and it's like GG's. Like, they're just gonna push you.
What makes it more better is, like, sarcastically, is that these snipers have no glints and no audio when they're getting shot at. So you can get shot from maybe 50 meters away, and all you're gonna hear is an explosion next to you, and you're gonna look around, and you're just gonna see a laser pointed at your head before you're dead.
And likely, if they missed you, the audio's coming from the wrong direction.
Yeah. I will say, from a competitive standpoint, I think there is a way for them to incorporate one-shot snipers into like a competitive meta. But the way the one-shot snipers are right now, the fact that you can put this F-Tac forged delta scope on it, that's like a 5.5x zoom. The fact that the ADS speed is really fast, the fact that like the audio is kind of scuffed and there's no glint, that's what like ruins the competitive experience. If they like somehow tune the snipers to where like the ADS was a little slower and you had to use like a higher zoom scope and there's actual glint, then it wouldn't be as bad. But like the fact that, you know, we have teams with two snipers that have this 5x zoom scope that ADS is in 100 milliseconds, that's what makes it so like annoying to have to deal with and play against.
I guess, yeah. So let me ask you guys that question. I was going to save this, but since the topic got brought up, one-shot snipers, right? I think I want your guys' opinion on, do you guys think are they going to separate or ban things come World Series Warzone / ranked? Are they going to ban things or not? That's one. And then two, if you guys think so, should snipers be banned or one-shot snipers be banned from the World Series? D, I'll let you go first, and then we'll just continue from there.
I mean, I hope that they would have a list, or at least be open to adding a list, because like grenade launchers, like a GL, I think I saw Sage today, he picked up a GL and started shooting someone with it, and he actually got the kill. So like, I was just like, dude, there's no way I'm playing for however much amount of money and I get GL'd one of my deaths or something. Like launchers, riot shields, like just all the cheesy stuff, like snipers. It would be great that they would do like one sniper per team, because then it wouldn't make it that bad, right? But I don't think that I see a world where they're like restrict to like one person, or like they're able to even do that.
It would have to be a GA, I think. And even then,
and you're not gonna get 100 players.
No one's respecting GAs.
People would say let's GA it, but then there's the other half of people are just like, why? It's in the game. Might as well just use it.
Yeah,
it's just an argument back and forth.
Well, it's even like chat's talking about now. They're like, oh, well, they ruined the game, the snipers, right?
Yeah.
But the reality is the game for public matches is entirely different. The average player sniping in pubs sucks. So it's not the same as, like, for lack of better phrasing, that's the reality of it. They're not hitting the shots that Breadman is going to hit, or whatever snipers are out there that are sniping, and it's ridiculous, you know? So it's totally different aspect, and I could see them... Before them banning it, I would say they would heavily nerf it. And if they're listening, maybe take the feedback that they just gave, where that 5.5x needs to have a glint. It needs to be slower. And then that's a starting point. And if that's not enough, maybe go further. But like, at least do that. And then they still snipe, and the people that couldn't hit snipes before in pubs still won't be able to hit them. But they'll use it. And, you know, for that one snipe they do get in plunder or whatever.
Yeah, so I think real quick, HusKerrs, I want you to spit after this, but like, just so everybody's aware, right? Like, if there is devs watching right now, when we're talking about the snipers and stuff, if there's something that you guys want nerfed, I would highly suggest to say it, because they do watch these, right? So like, HusKerrs, go ahead. Just thought I would reiterate that. If you feel like they should be nerfed, what do you think they what should be nerfed? And even then, should... Like, or do you think, do we just ban them completely? Because from a casual perspective, I don't see a problem in pubs. Sniping is not, for me right now, I don't see, I've gotten headshot snipe maybe like once or twice in pubs, and I've been playing like every day.
To me.
Yeah. But when it comes to customs against the best player in the world, it's completely different, right? So I just want to throw it out there. Go ahead, HusKerrs.
Yeah, so with the snipers and the competitive thing, basically, I think the way that they can make one-shot snipers actually balanced and, you know, add to the competitive experience would be doing the things like I said before, like making sure there's glint and, you know, slowing down the ADS. In regards to the stage 1 regional finals, I don't think they can do that within the next 3 weeks. Like it would take too much time to fully balance the one-shot snipers. So if, like, for the stage 1 finals specifically, I think the best bet is just banning them outright and no one using snipers for this one until they're able to get the snipers to a better point. And even restricting them to like one per team, I don't think they can, like you guys were saying, I don't think they can feasibly do that. Like, I don't even know if you can, I don't even know if they could do that like in the game, you know, like when, like, I don't think that's possible right now. So
I don't think it's ever been a thing as well as in like the CDL, like they have never, like, they always have a one sniper, but what's stopping them from just using it twice?
Yeah.
So
Plus, since there's loot, when you kill somebody, you can just pick up their sniper. You know what I mean? Like,
true.
There's no like, no matter what it is with Battle Royale, it'll just be like whatever's available, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, to give the experience as best as possible for this first regional finals. I think unless they can somehow make the changes to the one shot snipers, like I just said, in time, I think the best course is to just ban them outright. In terms of just nerfing guns, I mean, I would like to see a new meta just in the game in general, like every month and a half or so. Like I understand that for a lot of casual players, they don't play the game nearly as much as us. So like, I understand not having a new meta every like 3 weeks because a lot of people can only play for like a couple hours a day, maybe if that. But I think it's reasonable to have like a new meta every like 5 to 6 weeks minimum. For people like us, it's like very hard to just use the same gun over and over and over. And you know, my viewers are always like, "Well, just use an off meta weapon." Like, yeah, I try to do that sometimes, but like the thing is, it's not fun using an off meta weapon when, especially for a hardcore competitor like me, when I'm using a gun like freaking Bass P and I lose a gunfight and like I know in that moment that if I was using the meta SMG, I wouldn't have lost that fight, but because I was using the Bass P, I lost it. That's very frustrating for me. So that's why I don't want to use. Yeah. So that's why I don't want to use off meta weapons. So it'd just be nice if they could kind of rotate the quote unquote meta, you know, every 5 or 6 weeks, just so we have something new to use. Yeah. So I would like to see some buffs.
Astonish,
like
thank you for the 4 months with the tier 1. I think it might be rolling. Oh.
Yeah, you're good.
I thought I doubled.
Oh man.
Yeah. Also, there's. I mean, thinking about it, we have finals, which is in 5 months per se. So a lot can happen. You know, there is still some hope as well as into these customs. But I mean, think about it right now. The worst things that are in customs right now is the servers, these snipers, which, as HusKerrs said, they can easily just ban explosive rounds. So it's just like, it'll have you one shot, which gives you a chance to survive, as well as with these glints that are broken. But the worst, I think, of all that goes with this meta is, I mean, everybody's rocking the same thing. ISO, MP5, smokes, Sentexes, or drill charges. But the fact that when these rotations that zone pulls so far that you smoke yourself and people are able to ping you through the smoke, that makes it so bad. As well as like, there's times where you can go prone if you're hugging the zone, smoke yourself, and the whole outline of yourself shows. That's like one of the worst things, that you're able to get live pinged in that like scenario where you're trying to survive with the low TTK, as well as like being able to get pinged through a smoke. You're just instantly dead. There's like no surviving it.
That is a really bad bug. I hate that bug. Where if you're on the edge of gas. Oh. Well, yeah. There's a bug where if you're on the edge of gas and you're in a smoke grenade, people can literally see your outline through the smoke. You don't even have to be live pinged. Like if you're just like, if you're on the edge of gas and so like if you're on the edge of gas camping and zone starts moving and you start smoking in front of you to start using, you know, running through the smoke, but the gas is like right behind you, people will literally just see you straight through that smoke. That's like, I don't even think it's a bug. I think that. Yeah, I think
I think that's got to be a bug.
No, it's a bug. Yeah, it's some.
Yeah, unintentional, and they probably don't even know about it.
Yeah,
I would recommend also with bugs that come up, is the best thing to do is just clip the bug and tag them. Yeah. Specifically, I think Raven or something along those lines. That's what I would recommend, so they could see it. Because I think IW, most of the bugs they're working on are probably multiplayer. And then Sledgehammer's on their new game, and then Treyarch's on a year and a half from now. Yeah, so I think, like, if you do get those, that's the only way, especially if you know what causes it in that specific case, like with the specific, all right, edge of gas interacting with smoke, then, you know, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it's a feature. I don't know.
There's no way.
There's no way.
And the thing is that specific bug affects us more than anyone, especially in these customs tourneys, because that's just how people play late game. Like they're hugging gas, and when there are like 40 people left in zone 6, there are going to be tons of people on the edge of the gas, and that's just the way that we have to rotate sometimes. So when there's this bug that gets us killed, it's really frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Like, think about it. In this TTK, it takes, with an AR, it takes 6 to 7 bullets to kill somebody. And it's in a competitive mind, like a competitive space where there's 3 people looking at one guy. It's 120 bullets to 7 bullets. Like, that odds or like something like that is just crazy.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you're able to die so fast in a short time while getting pinged through a smoke, which is your lifeline opportunity, getting shot by 3 people is just, it ruins the comp fun of it. Like usually if you're smoking yourself, like for instance, Apex, they don't have live pings, but say if they do ping somebody, it like they get the noti or they get a different like icon. But for us, it pings us through the smoke the whole time. So it's at a like a messed up part, as well as like when you get precisioned, if you don't like ping them, if you get precisioned and they're down after the precision's done, it'll ping where they were last down. So like, yeah, it shows exactly where they're at.
So many random bugs, bro.
Mhm.
Gary, I haven't heard from you.
I
Talk
think
to
they
me,
should
man.
just remove live pinging
Yeah, I mean,
from competitive things.
one thing I was like curious about too was with the smokes. Like, I wonder if that's supposed to be in the game, like where you can live ping through smokes. I don't know if that's a bug or if that's like intentional through the developers. Do you
True.
guys have any?
Bro,
like,
it's
I don't know,
very
like, do you think
possible
that
it
is,
could
like-
be a bug
It could-
that
I-
has just been in the game for 6 months.
I don't
5 months.
think, in my opinion, live pinging should be, you should still be able to live ping, but I don't think if that player, whoever live pinged them, goes out of your line of sight, I think it should go away there. And then
Yeah.
2, if you get smoked, you should not be able to see to smoke through the live ping. Because I'll be honest, like even me, like I abuse the hell out of that, bro. Like it's so easy to just like, I know if I'm in trouble, I smoke myself and they're pushing me, I'll just start live pinging like crazy until I get one, and then
Exactly.
I'll kill him. You know, so I think it's definitely OP in my opinion.
Sometimes I'll like lay in a corner. If I know somebody's like pushing in my building, I'll throw smoke on the ground, lay down, and just spam pings.
Yeah,
It's so broken.
I will say, man, I think smokes, in my opinion, right now are a necessity. Like truly they are, because we play a game, guys, that has the fastest time to kill probably out of anything, right? And if we're talking about competitive, these guys are not going to miss a shot, right? Like there is no way to rotate. Like they're truly like, how are you going to rotate? The only thing that you can do is smoke, right? So if they can somehow find a way to balance that, I think that's the perfect scenario, best of both worlds, right? But I don't know, that's my opinion. And as far as the snipers goes, I actually think one-shot snipers, remember, we're talking about a public setting. I'm not talking about like customs. Like I think the one-shot right now sniper, anything they could do is just add the glint to that scope. I think it's pretty balanced. I have not been getting like blasted by one-shot snipers in pubs like crazy. That's why I think they shouldn't nerf it, because I know there's some people who got back on this game because one-shot snipers are back and they're having fun, right? Like there should be a difference between fun stuff and competitive stuff. So if you were to tell me right now, I would say, yo, if anybody here is listening and they're in charge of the rules, come the finals or even come next week of the Wednesday qualifiers, they should ban one-shot snipers in general. Ban the you don't have to ban the gun.
Explosive
Ban the
rounds.
explosive rounds. Yeah.
Because it's not even just. At first, everybody thought it was the new sniper that came out that had the one shot bug, but now everybody's using different sniper builds that have a quicker ADS than the other. With the no glint, it just makes it worse.
Yeah, I'm watching this, guys. Like, right, I'm not even playing, and I watch your guys' scrims / tournaments like religiously, right? I'm watching everything consistently, and all I ever see is sniper. Oh, I got one shot. It was sniper. And it's like it's cool from a casual perspective. That's fun, right? When you're playing. But then when it comes to competitive, like the skill is completely different. Everybody's gonna hit their shots. So I mean, if you looked at I looked at the top fraggers on, I think not yesterday's tournament, but the tournament before that, I don't remember when it was, and every single one of the top 5 fraggers was a sniper. And I like to look at these analytics, and it's like, it should, in my opinion, it shouldn't be like that. So that's,
It's just free kills.
yeah.
I mean, just using a sniper, you can miss a million bullets, but hit that one, and it's just a free kill. Like, I mean, all of that starts adding up, right? So, I mean, if you're Breadman, you're able to hit your shots from far away. It's so easy to just get like all these kills.
Yeah. So again, if anybody's listening, definitely think there needs to be a big separation between casual play and ranked play and World Series of Warzone, because obviously we're at the point where our game is definitely dying, and the last thing we want is for us to be like, when ranked comes out and it's just it's everybody's like all complaining about this is broken, this is broken, this is broken. I think one of the biggest things that COD needs to focus on is having a feel for every single type of game mode that they have. For example, DMZ should be DMZ. Warzone should be Warzone. Multiplayer should be Warzone, and ranked should be as competitive as possible. There's a place for everything, so that's just my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, I think to wrap that up, I think the quickest and easiest solution to both of those issues is one, banning one-shot snipers for the World Series of Warzone Stage 1 regional finals, and two, I'm pretty sure this is possible, but I think they should just ban live pinging from the. Well, I guess they can't do that if they're doing whitelist public lobbies.
True.
I was gonna. You could probably do that in a customs game. Like they could have an option to like disable live pinging, but if we're doing whitelist public lobbies, I guess that wouldn't be possible.
Yeah,
Well,
I
they
mean,
could do it in the ranked game mode. Like let's say it was like banned and ranked, and then we did our
That's true.
whitelist lobbies in ranked game mode or something like that.
Yeah. Even banning live pinging in the entire ranked playlist, I think is a good option. Because
100%
like leaving in casual public lobbies, but like for competitive games and competitive tourneys, I think live pinging should just not even be in the game.
100%. I do think you should. Sorry.
There's 296 pages worth of 15 plus teams qualifying for the World Series of Warzone. So if you multiply that, it shows how many teams there are. That all those people have Twitter, like they don't see the COD community complaining about the snipers. They don't know about anybody GAing stuff. So it's kind of hard for us to be like, yo, let's GA this. And then half the comp scene is not sniping. And then you have that one group of like players just like, oh, we're just playing for 1.2 million. Let's just pull out a sniper. Like, as well as like Apex, they have a care package that brings out the rarest guns, the most like OP guns, like a one-shot sniper, like the Kraber, which it doesn't even anymore with the specific like helmet, or like a pistol that has like massive armor damage or health damage. But like what we're like us comp players want to aim for is specifically getting rid of that sniper, that just, at least not getting rid of the sniper, but just the fact that we get one shot sniped from any radius. Like not like Iron Trials was like what, 50 meters, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
But it's in a max radius that we can get one shot sniped, and there's splash damage on it as well. So our one movement, which is dolphin diving, we can dolphin dive and we're stuck there for 10 seconds, like scratching the floor because we're bored, and then get sniped, and we're just like, okay.
Yeah, we just want to reiterate this. Just wanted to throw this out there. I feel like, I don't know if your guys' chats are getting confused, but we're just so everybody's aware, because my chat's like, oh, you guys want to ban everything. You guys want to like do this. And remember, guys, we're talking about competitive. We're not talking about casual pubs. This is competitive. We understand there's a place for everything in the casual playlist, but just remember this. We're talking about comp, guys. Just wanted to throw it out there. I said that a lot nicer than Diaz just did, but if y'all want to see my chat. But boys, JGOD, you kind of want to get into what the questions that we had, because I think it's time to spice things up a little bit.
Yeah, well, maybe. I mean, it's a little different, obviously, with everyone in here, because people might change their answers. But I would say that one thing we were going to ask was, and then we're going to, is that like, so like, let's say when you actually get into these matches with all these players and you get a bounty up and it pops up, who are you hoping for? Like, what would be like the freest kill for you?
Yeah, wait, one by one. Wait, one by one. Let's go HusKerrs first. Deadass. Guys, what he asked was, if you get a bounty, who is the freest kill on the map for you? HusKerrs, go first.
Probably someone whose name I've never heard of.
What
People who have
names?
the clan title like A3J or some shit. You already know, if we pull a bounty on a team we've never heard of, we're pushing that.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But
so nobody specifically that you're like, yo, if I see this guy in the World Series, I'm running.
I mean, let me think of somebody whose name I know.
We'll come back
Probably
to you then.
Redman.
Oh, okay. I like it. I like that you're calling out specific names. Gary, you're next.
No, I mean, I'm gonna have to agree with HusKerrs on like basically what he said. Like, if there's anybody that we haven't seen, we're 100% pushing that bounty every single time. Like, usually we grab a bounty and we see the name and we're just like, oh, we're like, yeah, or we're like, nope. Like we literally say like, oh, I'm down, or no, let's not. Like we don't even say like, oh, should we push the bounty or anything. That's like our lingo. But I mean, like, if I was to call out, I mean, I'd say, if I got like Repullze or something like that, I'm like, I probably have to push that.
Wait.
I'm just kidding.
Gary, what place you get last year in the World Series?
Like fucking 49th or something.
Oh, okay,
like
just
that.
wondering. Sage, I know you're not gonna hold back, Sage. Even if they're on this call, it's okay to say, you know, Sage, if you had somebody who is a free kill on the map.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and agree with Gary. Like, there's those teams that you don't initially want to, like, you don't initially want to fight. Like, you're like, oh, we won't fight them, but we will like cross them. Like, across them specifically means like we'll go ahead of them and then hold them from the zone. But there's a lot of teams in these customs where you just pick it up and like the comp players and you see their name, you're just like, oh, well, we're flying at that. But I think so far the easiest kill I have for me in these customs has probably been Unrational. Like, really easy.
What about that TikTok that I just posted like 2 days
Damn!
ago? Actually, I think you and Biffle both lost to me in the gulag, didn't you?
No
guys?
way.
I think, from what I
Biffle lost
remember,
to me in the Googe the other day too. We might be their
You lost to
kryptonite.
HusKerrs?
I know. I made sure to let him know
Worst one
too.
yet, bro. I'm hearing people's footsteps above me, bro. And I'm turning around tweaking.
True. That gulag footstep audio is horrendous.
So bad.
but there is
sorry.
a lot of people. There is a lot of people that like you can tell from the good or bad, or like me who has a lot of experience in these big customs. Like, you already know how the other team's gonna play, so why not counter what they do?
Okay. And last but certainly not least, Mr. D. When JGOD had these questions written down, I was like, I cannot wait to hear who Diaz said. So D, hey, if you want to name more than one D, go ahead, bro. You know, all you.
He lists the whole Warzone scene.
Who on the map, D, is a free fucking kill that no matter what, you're winning?
The one name I could pick out, like, dude, we've run into this team so many times, and like they're the freest kills, bro. But like, if I picked up a bounty and I saw their name, dude, this guy's name's Little J, bro. I don't know who he is. Dude, I don't know who he is or like what. Dude, if I see him, like, we're flying, Sage. Dude. Okay, another one, dude. If I see Evan in there, like, come on, bro. Dude. If I see Evan, we're cooking.
Damn, so you see your ex-teammate right there, your old duo, like, type shit, you're just, it's on site.
Dude, it's gotta be like, dude, I'm hopping a UAV and we're flying.
Wait, D, what you think about their new team? You see that? They have a new trio now.
Who is it?
Look, bro.
Who's their new team?
Sage, stop,
Sorry,
bro.
sorry. I kind of told you.
What you think, D?
I mean, I didn't play against their team, but I did see the leaderboard.
Wait, did they play today?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, I didn't see the leaderboard. What? Who is the
It's
new team?
Swag, Evan, and Colors?
Oh, is it Colors?
I think so,
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who did
Hey,
Colors?
who you
Wasn't
playing
Colors
with
on
then?
another team?
I don't know whose team he was on. But I
they
will
playing
say
with
they
before?
did not do the greatest in that tourney.
Gotcha. Is it because of Evan?
I mean, it's got to be, right?
It's gotta
Damn. My man went for the throat, bro. Damn. Okay. Anybody else you guys want to throw out there before we move on to the next question?
I will agree with D. I mean, today I played without D, and I ran into Little J like six times.
Dude, I feel so bad for Lil J, bro.
No,
God.
there is some random names like that though. Like we'll pull up. There was this team that landed Hydra with us, or something. Their name was like Danny or something like that. I don't remember. We grabbed a bounty on them, and I think we pulled it like twice, and it was like legitimately free kills. But I don't remember what. I don't remember. This was like Danny something, but there is some names like that you just don't see much in the comp scene. But I do respect them for getting in these tourneys and trying to get better, 100%.
Yep.
But they're just names that I haven't seen in the comp scene, obviously. But I will say, if I see them, I do usually like
Danny
Hey,
drops.
hey, Lil J, if you see this, bro, just know, keep working to make them eat their words. All right, Lil J, keep working.
True.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I wanted to ask like Sage and Biffle, if you guys see, let's say like one of the top contending teams in the tournament, like let's say I mean Tommy's team won today, for example. So if you see Tommy's team or like like HusKerrs' team, like do you guys push that team because you want to try to wipe them out of the lobby, or do you guys avoid that team?
Okay,
It's
so
a good one. This is a good question.
So today, we were contesting third. We were third in the last map, and usually it's a play for like the top players to land on other top players to chalk their game. So I said, well, we were down this, like, I don't know how much the amount was, but we were down like a little bit. So if we were to wipe the team and then win, it'll put us at a huge advantage. But yeah, we did today. We landed on HusKerrs' team and we kind of slowed their pace down, which is a huge thing, which people are just like, oh, they just gave them free kills, or like they're wasting time, which is a huge thing for customs. And I think that's a big reason why TBE won. Like we chalked a long time of their time. So it was just like, it wouldn't help them, like usually.
So you
But-
prefer to like try to fight that team and just kind of like whoever wins kind of like wins the tourney type deal?
I mean, well, everybody knows Warzone is RNG to the max. So one game, maybe you land on a roof and you have an LMG and they have a shotgun and they can't kill you. Or like one game you just like say like F it, and then all three of you guys land on one guy and he has like say a grenade launcher and he just instantly kills you. Like something can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
D, real quick. D, if you get the bounty on Aiden's team, what you doing?
I mean, I think Sage knows, right?
What's up?
Listen, I think that team is in shambles, bro.
Oh my god! Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Dude, I don't know. Like, whenever they play customs, I never see them really at the top. So, like, I don't know what they're doing. I don't really watch their gameplays or anything, but something about their team just isn't working right now. And so when I see them, like, come on.
You're flying at Aiden's team?
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta hold them or something. Like, it's just, I don't think they really understand how to play customs yet.
Oh shit! Oh, blah, blah, blah. Hey, it was just his birthday yesterday, D. You know, come on.
Wait, you gotta wait a couple days. You gotta wait till
Fuck
like
that,
tomorrow to talk shit or something, bro.
Yeah, bro. Okay, so going, let's kind of counter that, right? And who right now, and obviously you guys can say who everyone, even if you say there's nobody, who right now on the map do you think is like, okay, like these guys are arguably one of the best teams? Who do you guys think is like a great team right now? And D, since you were cooking, go ahead, you can start off first.
Probably Soka's team is are also TBE. I think those two are probably the top teams right now.
Okay.
Right, Sage? Like, I don't think the other teams are kind of like inconsistent. Oh, Mayapo's team might be.
I was gonna say my apples.
Yeah,
sure,
in the top three.
You guys are always fighting them, I feel like, because you guys land at the same place.
Hydro.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, those are probably the top three teams for me.
Okay. And then HusKerrs, Gary, I mean, since you guys are on the same team, you guys can talk together if you want.
I would say like Mayapo's team is the one team that consistently like will win the fight versus us. Like, because usually you go back and forth and stuff like that, but I would say that is the one team that I've noticed that will consistently win the fight versus us. And like, I don't know, they play very well. They just play very, very well. And like, sometimes in my head, I'm just like, this makes no sense what they're doing, but it seems to work every time. So
that's what Sage says. That's what Sage says.
Okay, so I mean, I know them. I'm pretty tight with them. I know where they land. Like it's more about like experience in the customs. But like back then in a tourney recently, the 15K, the Spanish one, where there was no rules at all. There was like redeploys and stuff like that. We wiped their team, and for some reason they all three land back on us and kill us, and we're just like, why would they do that? But like they're like honestly, that is probably the scariest team to me. Everybody else, like, they're hard fights, like, but they're the scariest because they're unpredictable. Like,
You have
you know,
no idea
you no
what's gonna
idea.
happen.
It's so weird.
Yeah, no, I would 100% agree. I would say that team is definitely, even if like, I mean, I do think they are one of the best teams, 100%. But even if I don't think they're the like number one best team, I would say they're the number one team I wouldn't want to fight.
Gotcha. HusKerrs, would you agree?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, probably like the top 5 teams are Biffle's team, Ahsoka's team, Mayapa's team, TBE, and then I don't know how Joe, Brett, and their third has been doing lately. I don't know if I think they've like done. I think they've done good some games, but other games not. So
I think there's
but I guess those 4 teams then, and those 4 teams are like always very consistently at the top.
Okay. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna break down like the different styles, and obviously once all customs start coming out, and I start hosting our scrims consistently, I want to break down different styles of teams. Like, I think you can definitely tell. Like, let's say I think Joe's, Breadman's, like that team is a little bit slower paced, right? They play different than let's say Sage and them. So I'm curious to see how people start to develop their play style as these tournaments start to come out, but I wonder, do you guys think there's any teams going to come out of nowhere and just like shock people? I mean, I know we're going to be playing against EU at LAN and everybody else from across the world on LAN, but do you guys think the champion of the World Series is already amongst these teams that we're talking about? Like, or do you think is there a chance that one of these sleeper teams from another country comes out of nowhere?
Yeah, 100%. I don't think there's a chance that like I don't think there's a chance that there's any other teams that don't have a chance. I guess that sounds weird coming out. Yeah. But like, there's got to be some teams that are going to end up doing really good, or like even if the top 4 teams that we just named are the top 4 teams that end up being in LAN, I still think there's a lot of contention for teams that we haven't seen yet. Not necessarily that it's gonna be a qualifier team, but like some people are gonna get their shit together. I mean, our team, for example, doesn't have their shit together at all, but we're working on it.
We've been trying out a bunch of new shit, and then Scum has been playing the tourney after he's played ranked for 16 hours. So
yeah, I will say we usually change up what we do almost every single game, because during these tourneys we've just been like practicing a bunch of stuff, but like we haven't all been on the same page. Like, one of us will usually be locked and like somebody's not. So like we're working on like right now how we're all 3 going to like try to just be actually like getting into this and like communicating and like working a little bit better. Like, obviously our performances haven't been like good, but I'm not stressed by any means at all.
Okay. All right. Cool. Hey, God, you wanna? Oh, go ahead.
I was about to say, like, I feel like these top teams, like, they're good right now, but I wonder how they're gonna play on LAN, because like that's a whole different dynamic.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna be on your setup. It's gonna be a different like monitor, headset, whatever. So there's gonna be a crowd as well. So maybe people get nervous. I mean, people are definitely gonna get nervous. Like, no matter what on LAN, I feel like people are always gonna be nervous. Like, even the pros in the CDL, like, they probably still get nervous a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What were you gonna say, Sage?
I was like, you're right, because okay, to break it down, in the competitive scene right now, a lot of people are abusing like loudness equalization. A lot of people are abusing softwares to boost your audio. Like, people are going
audio cheese
to an extent. Yeah, the audio cheese. They're going to an extent to win, basically. But a lot can change in these months. Like, maybe there's an update that they, like, say season 2, where they set you to a specific audio that the game made, which was stereo. And if they do that on LAN, like CDO, they can't play with loudness EQ. They play with like their own setups. Like, they can't touch it at all. So hopefully for LAN, they do that so that everybody can play at the extent of a equal setting.
Yeah.
So that it may be probably one of the best LANs that has came for Warzone.
For sure.
Okay.
But like, back to your main question, like, yeah, some of the underdogs teams like the NA, the EU, the LATAM, the Australian, or the EU, like, there is a lot of sleeper teams. Like, Juki's new team that just like came, which is Juki's, Lennon, and their new third, I think it's Visions. And that team so far, ever since playing, they've won both customs.
Really?
and they've been doing really good.
They beat
As-
FIFA's team.
Yes, today
Really?
they beat them. Yeah, as well as yeah, FIFA's team is a really good team. You have two sleeper players, Wiz, who won one of the Twitch rivals, and Oak, who's like now on his first year debut of entering like the War Series of Warzone or Twitch rivals like area type thing.
Yeah.
There's another team that has like as well. They're really like a sleeper team is Exium and his team. I don't know his whole team, but Exium and Co. They've been placing really well as well.
Okay.
Well, not to like forget about the Frenchies like the Gramalok, Heeds, Enkyo. I think that's the
My
team.
man knows
or-
everybody, bro.
Yeah.
I
don't know
have-
you
God
anymore.
damn, this guy studies.
I mean, I like to like talk to a lot of people. I like to watch a lot of people, but yeah, like okay, yeah, Almond pointed out Exium, Stuo, and Pedzuka. Like that team is really, really consistent as well. But like you'll go through a customs and like, or like say in any of these tourneys, you might be popping off and you won't run into a specific team. And then next thing you know, you look at the leaderboard and that team's above you and you're just like, how is that happening?
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh, they're probably having a whole different play style, like playing smarter or playing for kills or like having those end games where it really matters in the play, like the placement difference that can change the whole format of a game.
Okay. All right, cool, boys. JGOD, if you want to get to we got a couple more questions. I don't know, but JGOD.
Well, I wrote a couple different ones down.
Okay.
I think this one would be kind of an interesting one, talking about like sleepers. There's people that didn't get invited spots. I think there's multiple that performed well in both World Series of Warzone. But are there people that like didn't get an invite that you guys like know they're going to be at the NA final or the EU final that should have probably gotten spots? And if maybe, certain teams that are invited don't like make it to the next round, like they don't win, place it well enough to make it to the next bracket, do you think like they could be somebody to look out for? I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense in my head as.
D, do you know any of this? People who didn't get invited?
No, I don't really know any of the teams that haven't been invited. Sage might know some teams because he seems to know a lot about these teams.
Also, didn't Swag tweeted out that he had the qualifiers in a couple of days. Did he not get an invite?
No, he got an invite. They're just playing it for fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there is a lot of teams that consist. I mean, I know these Twitter tourneys don't matter. These like Activision approved ones don't matter to like say like Twitch Rivals or World Series of Warzone. But there is a good like amount of teams. I'd say maybe like 4 to 5. I can't specifically name them because they'll just get scrambled in my head. But there is a good amount of teams that if they were invited to regional finals, they would not disappoint the invite, Yeah. But as well as it does make a good story to play through quals, win, qualify, go into second qualifiers, qualify from that. Then out of nowhere, you see these top players suddenly lose to like say an underdog team who's beating them because they have the practice, they have the qualifiers, and then you might see one of these teams win the LAN event. But a lot can happen in these next couple of 5 months.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
We could be playing a whole different game in 5 months.
Hey,
than
dude,
what we're playing now, bro.
We could play a whole different game in 2 weeks, brother. Like you don't know what's gonna happen, man. But a couple names, guys. Just getting it from chat, and is Braxton's team, Hisoka's team. So I'm guessing Hisoka's team didn't get invited for finals. I'm assuming.
Oh, did they not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they did.
I think a lot of these teams that probably got invited to regional finals are probably still going to play quals for the like the practice. Maybe I don't know how it would work for the second open, which is customs.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of these teams, like I know, hands down, Braxton, Empathy, and Trick. That team is
Wait, when you say a lot of these teams are still gonna play the quals, are you saying they're still gonna play the open, like the TKR thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they maybe got invited. Like I think Hisoka's team probably got invited. I know Mayapo's team got invited.
They did?
Yeah, they did. But I know Braxton's team, I think they're playing quals. Another underdog team, of course, that I will always put respect on because they're competitors, Smith, Ebates, and DJ. Like,
yeah, that's what they're saying right now. That was one of them.
Those teams, they have to play through quals. I don't think they got invited, but they are like some of the comp ready people that I know for a fact are gonna qual.
Yeah, I think there's a lot. Do you guys think 25 or 20 teams? In my opinion, I mean, maybe this is me being ignorant, right? Like, I feel like it's gonna be pretty easy to qual if you're one of the top teams. Or do you guys think 20 teams is cutthroat?
With out of the TKR?
Oh no. In general, because remember, like, it doesn't matter. Even if remember, this can actually happen, which is crazy to me. You can win stage 1 finals, guys, and still not qualify for the fucking for the World Series.
Like global.
Yeah, that's so weird.
You can win stage 1 and not qualify for, because all that matters.
Or you could come in late stage 2, right? In the open, just skip stage 1 entirely, and you still make it to the final.
Yeah. So it's. Do you think 20 people qualify? I'm not talking about a lot of people are saying it's 40 teams or 50 teams, whatever. But I'm talking about guys specifically for the World Series, like to actually get to wherever the LAN is going to take place. There's 20 teams from NA, 20 teams from EU. Do you think that's a lot, or do you guys think that's too little? Not even too little, but do you think that's very little? Like, is it going to be competitive? Is what I'm trying to say. Because I feel like if you have some experience, I feel like it's pretty like you tell me right now, you guys, right? Like everybody in this call.
I think it's going to be very easy to get into the stage 2 regional finals. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but I think for the stage 1 regional finals, the top 25 teams advance to the stage 2 regional finals, right?
Yes.
I think that's going to be super easy. But then from the stage 2 regional finals, I think you have to get top 15 to make it to the global finals.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be a little more. That'll be a little tougher. The top 25 in the stage 1 regional finals, that's like, if we don't make top 25, bro, I'm quitting Warzone on the spot. Like, come on, bro.
Okay. Yeah. But at top 15, right? There's the top 15 from stage 2 finals, and then there's 5 last chance qualifiers. People, like, I feel like, not that I'm not saying that it's easy, but like, I would be very surprised if, let's say you guys didn't make HusKerrs, like you guys, I'd be very surprised, because I feel like you guys are amongst that top, that top qualifying people, right? Do you guys feel like it's not, I don't want to say easy, but like, you think it's fairly easy to qual?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm not worried about not qualing, or I'm not worried about not getting into the stage 2 regional finals or even the global LAN. I just my focus is getting in that prize money, or like I want to focus on getting like top 3, top 5.
Gotcha.
I don't care about getting 25th versus 15th versus 10th.
As well, think of it as the invited teams. So it's 25 invited teams, right? Or is it 30?
To what? Finals?
Or for
Stage
regional,
1?
for stage 1 regional, it's 30, right?
25.
25. So it's, and top 25 qual, and I think the rest of them go into the second qualifiers instead of having to go all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah.
So I think the people who got invited have a better chance than the other people who came from open quals, because then they have their second chance, of course, of going from qualifying or not qualifying to going into another qualifier again, instead of having to go straight from the beginning.
Yeah. Of course, I think I feel like that's pretty well known, right? I'm very, what I'm most excited for or curious is how the heck are they going to do the last chance qualifiers? JGOD, do you have any info on that? I don't know how that's going to work, but it seems like it's super cutthroat.
Yeah, apparently, like that last chance one is that obviously they're going to take whatever number of teams, but one spot will be given to the winner of they're going to do a solo YOLO for no money, but it's for a placement in the finals. Like, you win and you take your 2 teammates with you to the finals. But like, you made it to that point anyways. It's like the last spot of the last spots. And I think they do it for NA and EU. I'm pretty sure that's what Ghosh said.
Oh, God.
It's crazy. But it's like the last of, if that's what they needed, they're probably not something to worry about. You know what I mean? Like, but
yeah,
who
that's
knows?
true. Wait, so you could technically ruin your teammates' chances. Oh my God. Because like,
oh yeah, right.
if it's a solo, then you guys are competing against each other too. Like,
Right.
Imagine it's like you two, like it's 3 people left and 2 people are your teammates, but you don't know, and you guys kill each other. Dude, oh my god,
Dude, that's such a small chance. I don't think that's gonna
Oh, watch it happen. Watch it
That would be
happen.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm
Oh,
pretty sure
man.
that's how it works. I'm pretty sure that like we've had all these exhausts. It's like 6 rounds of whatever to get to that one, and it's like I think it's the top 9 from each side or something. I know on the infographic it kind of explains it where it'll have the extra spot. I think it's 4 from each, maybe the top 3 or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there is a solo YOLO for NA. EU, it's combined or something, and it's like the top from each. I don't know, something weird.
Wow.
But
Wow.
yeah, solo YOLO to get into the final. But again, you're the 50th team, you know, like.
Yeah. This is the last chance. There's 10 teams qualifying from last chance qualifier, which is.
I
But
had a question about it. So on the second regional qualifiers, the basically the one that matters the most to see if you're going on LAN or going to the last chance, it says top 15 of NA and EU. My question right there would be like, say if like top 10 is basically all NA, and find like the final leaderboard, like top 10 is NA, and then you have like someone in like 23rd that's an EU, would they still like qualify?
they're separate.
specifically?
Sage.
No,
they're
they play
separate.
separate.
These are-
Oh,
they're
they play separate.
separate
Okay,
So
okay,
it's
okay.
two
That
50
makes
team
okay.
lobbies. Yeah,
Okay,
250
okay.
team lobbies. One will be 100% NA, and it'll be the top 15 from there,
'Cause
or whatever. Yeah.
When I read it, I was like, are we all gonna play on the same? Like, are we gonna do what we basically do in Twitter tourneys, which is
No.
have host? Yeah, okay, that makes
Which-
sense.
which
Yeah, like,
is-
we'll literally only be playing against NA teams for the entire thing until the global finals,
Yeah.
until LAN.
Literally,
And you'll play on LAN, yeah.
For example, you guys would like, let's say, FIFA's team and Juki's team, y'all would technically never go up against them, which I don't know if that's going to be good or bad for you guys for like your play style, right? Where like they could be landing on you guys in the finals and you guys don't know.
That's the thing, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys will never play against them until on LAN, where, you know, which is, I kind of like that storyline, but it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. JGOD, is there any other questions that you think we could go over? I like the IGL one if you want.
Oh yeah, we could do that. Yeah. Like right now, obviously, without including your team, who do you think is the best IGL currently?
D
I mean,
first, or D say first, yeah.
Best IGL.
Yeah.
Or
On any
and
team?
it's in-game leader for people that don't know that the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know a lot of the teams, but the only teams I really look at is like Soka and them, or like Tommy. Tommy's a good IGL for their team. Like, I think he's the only one that really ever guides them around the map, because I think like before they played with Limax, but they weren't doing that great, and now that Tommy's playing
Back.
with them now, yeah, he's back. They're starting to play like their old selves again, back in like Caldera and stuff. So I mean, that might be the best IGL. The second, it's like tied, I think, between him and like Soka.
Okay. Like that.
So I would pick those two.
HusKerrs, Husky Wesky, talk to me.
I don't really know the IGLs for each of the teams except for Tommy being the IGL for TBE. But yeah, like basically the teams we were listing, like the top 4 teams, like Diff's team, TBE, Soka's team, and my Apple's team. Whoever the IGL is for those 4 teams, that's who I'd say like the best 4 IGLs are right now. Because IGL is like, the IGL is literally everything, especially in these Warzone tourneys. Like you can have 3 super crack players be on a team, but if you don't have one guy who is leading them and like giving direction, you're not
Doesn't
gonna
matter.
do well.
Yeah.
So that's
Gary.
extremely important.
yeah, I mean, I gotta agree with HusKerrs. I mean, you just gotta look at the best performing teams and look at it that way. From like, because that's the only thing that we can go off of right now. Because we're all playing in the tournament, so we don't necessarily watch the tourneys. So we don't know like what their in-game comms are like what some of these people are leading their team to do, right? So I mean, I don't know. I haven't necessarily played with enough of the people or watched their VODs or watched them actually compete in the tourney. So yeah, I guess the only thing that we have to go off of is like the performance that these teams are doing, or like fighting these teams. Whatever's going on with those teams within, I mean, they're doing something right. So I mean, it's got to be whoever's the IGL of those teams.
Okay.
Agree.
And Sage.
I play with a lot of players, so I could say that there's a lot of good IGLs. Just as well as like what everybody else is saying, just look at the top teams, look how consistent they're playing. Those that like go ahead and from the viewer standpoint that watch those people that we are talking about, you can see the big difference, like night and day of like, say for instance, Tommy's team to like say 3 stack of people who just suddenly like combined each other, like, oh, let's play this tourney together type of like group. I mean, you could see like the NA team, there's a lot of like, it's pretty like everybody knows it's Tommy or Soka or maybe say for instance like Gary or HusKerrs, like they can be a good IGL, but then as well as like say for the EU side, there's maybe like FIFA Jukies, like throwing in combinations with Lennon, as well having like, it's not always like, sometimes there can't be just one IGL. There as well as like there's some good teams that have the cam that they just all throw the chat at each other, like they start chatting and then one clicks and then boom, like they're top 10 or top 5 and then with 20 plus kills, like but that also comes in with the chemistry as a team. Like some of these teams have been playing for 3 years, as well as like some of these teams have been playing for 1 year. Like it's kind of just like a mix and match. But yeah, there's a lot of IGLs like to be thrown around. JGOD,
is there anybody you've seen that, I don't know if you've been watching?
I don't think anyone else that hasn't been listed. I think obviously you got FIFA, Tommy, those types of things. I think there's a lot of underrated teams where maybe they have like the team chemistry where they're working on, you know, not one person maybe shot calling, but they generally have that cohesion because they played a while, that as soon as somebody gives the call out, like they don't even question it, they already know. Or maybe even like sometimes it'll be like the certain tone of what they're saying and the other people already know this is how we need to react. And you can see it when you watch people play, like somebody will say one thing and then, you know, you see teams also work through a lot of those issues where I didn't even hear you say that or whatever, so it's a matter of, you know, I think teams will have 4 months to figure that out. And by the time we get towards the end, people are going to be dialed in. There's going to be clearly defined metas, landing spots. So it'll be interesting how the IGLs will be able to navigate that stuff.
Don't worry, I'll have graphics of everybody's landing spots once it all comes out. Just know, boys. I'm gonna go in depth into it. But okay. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna. So since Almond brought up something really like really big, is as well as like besides the IGLs, there's those times where like you go into end game or like say like third quarter of 4 zones. If someone's dead, they call out a lot, and that matters a lot. Like me, since I play with D a lot, or like I play with Soka, or like playing with different teams like Mayapo, like when I die, I kind of try to lead my team to where I cover their blind side. Whereas, instance, I throw in hints or stuff that they won't see because they're too tunnel visioned into the game. So, like for instance, like if like Diaz and like our third Clamp is fighting a whole different team, and then I'm just like, you guys got to pay attention to zone, and they just like, for instance, like snap in their heads, and then they're like, oh, we're this far away, let's just play it as a team together. Like it's a big factor that matters in these customs.
I agreed to that, and I think Sage, you do a great job at that when it comes to like when you're dead, your IGL like skill rating goes up significantly, like as opposed to like when you're alive, because I know you're so focused on like how do I win this gunfight or whatever. But yeah, I agree with that. And then last, boys, I don't want to take too much of your guys' time. I know we've been at this, we've been fucking ranting, right? But last question, Ed, is if you guys win the World Series, what are you doing with the money? And real quick, I want to reiterate this because I don't think a lot of people know. And I know D was like, what the fuck? D was pissed about this. But if you win stage 1 finals, if you win stage 2 finals, and if you win the World Series Warzone finals, you get 50K. If you win every single one, if you're the top team, you guys win 50K. But if you win the solo YOLO, you win double that, 100K. So I don't know if anybody knew that or not. I know it's a $1.2 million tournament, but if you win every single final, you win everything, just back to back, you win 50K, which it's crazy.
That's for an individual.
Individual.
Yeah, obviously your
Can you
team
break
would
it
get
down?
one.
So okay, so if you
So
win
what's stage one?
stage one
first place
finals,
prize.
each-
What's stage two? And what's
Yeah.
global?
each stage one finals, each person, each trio gets 10K if you win. Right, that's 10K or 10K each, so 30K
Okay.
total. And then same thing for EU, they get the same thing, right? And everybody else. And then stage two finals, same thing. You win stage two finals, it's 10K each per person. And then main finals, if you win, each player gets 30K. If you win on LAN, right? So 10K each. And I kind of want to get you guys in. I remember you won the HusKerrs how last year, 2 years ago.
You got fucking
back to back.
How much D did you make off the HusKerrs how 2 years ago or a year ago, whenever that was, D?
Dude, the very first one, that one I think was the bigger than the second one, but it was like the qualifiers. So it was 3 qualifiers, right?
Damn, yeah.
And I think me and Evan placed like third in the first, in like the second or first one we played. And so that was like maybe 5K or something like that. So then add that on to the finals, it was like 38.
Damn.
So like it was like 40 something K. So like the fact that that's almost as much
Each.
as our basically our fucking championships for World Series, like for Warzone, like
Oh,
that's
it's
kind of
more.
crazy.
It's more than finals of World Series Warzone.
Or yeah, I mean, but like combined, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So boys, what's y'all's thoughts on that? Because I feel like that's not common knowledge. A lot of people don't know this.
Yeah.
And so what's y'all's opinion? And do you think, as awesome as the solo YOLO is, do you guys think that they should, for next year, obviously, right, feedback is a good thing. Do you guys think next year they should be a solo YOLO? Should the solo YOLO be 50K instead of 100K? Because it is cool. The concept is great, but it does suck that if you win the solo YOLO, which arguably is pretty much luck, you get double what you would win if you win every single thing. What do you guys think? Or D, go ahead. I'll let you spit first.
I was about to say, I feel like they should definitely lower the prize for solo YOLO because, like, dude, it's so RNG. Like, they should just make it like a fun thing. Oh, like, you guys finished your games, now just drop into this for like an extra bag or something.
Yeah.
Like 10K, 15, whatever they want to do. But 100K, the fact that it's more than the actual trio that's grinding every single day to like try to get better and like win the whole tourney is kind of insane. Because to be honest, I don't think anyone cared about the team that won the World Series of Warzone last year. Like, they only cared about the solo YOLO winner, which was FIFA.
Yeah.
Or like in the EU side, it was like Blade, right?
Yeah.
He won the trio thing for his EU side, and then he also won the solo. So that was kind of crazy over there. But
Yeah.
for our side, like, I think Soka and them won first place for NA, but no one cared. No one gave a fuck. They only cared about FIFA winning the 100K.
Yeah.
Like, that blew up everywhere on Twitter.
Well, I think even the first year, HusKerrs won back to back, and everyone was just talking about Scump.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
Won the
No, I think the prize pool is way too big for the solo YOLOs because when it's that big, it literally overshadows the champions of the actual competitive World Series of Warzone tourney. So yeah, it shouldn't be so big that it literally just overshadows. It basically just shits on the team that won the whole thing.
Dude, it's not even that too, bro. If you get second place in that, like, you're going into a dark hole. Like, I'm like,
Was that swag?
Like, I'm
Or is that Pie Man?
It was Pie Man.
It was Aiden and Pie Man.
I'm saying, like,
Aiden
if
and
that
Pie
happens to
Man.
me, bro, like, I'm going down a dark path. I mean seriously, a dark fucking path. Like that should not be a thing. That should 100% not be a thing. And not even just for that, bro. Like Biffle said. I mean, honestly, no, just that. Like, fuck that. Like, that's dumb, bro. I think that shit is dumb. If I get second place, bro, I don't know what I am doing with myself. Like, that shit is fucking. That is brutal, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
I would rather come in last
And
place.
then- Dude, and then like they're doing it on land. So like then you see the winner, he stands up, he's fucking cheering, everyone's
my
like clapping,
God,
they're like,
dude.
holy shit, and then you're just down bad, like you got second place, like fuck.
Oh, dude, imagine they start crying, bro. That would be. Oh,
no,
I feel so bad.
no,
Crying is the least of your worries, dude. Like, that shit is, bro. I'm like, bro.
I will
Like-
say, as a non-competitor watching them, they're very entertaining.
They are.
but they would still be just as entertaining
Yeah.
for 40K, 30K, 25K.
25K.
Yeah, 100%. They would still just be just as entertaining.
Yeah, I agree. Go ahead, Sage.
Like
You were
the
gonna say something?
entertainment value going from 25K to 100K, it's like very diminishing returns at that point. And all it does is, yeah.
like HusKerrs, he got you got back to back, right? First
Yeah,
and
first
both.
you only
Yeah.
back to back World Season
Yeah.
Warzone shit.
But then get this,
Back
get this.
before I was washed.
He got back to back and then third in the solo YOLO. Pretty sure, right?
The very first one?
Yeah, the one that's won.
He was
Yeah,
like
like
third or
top
fourth.
five.
Like fifth. I think.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, so imagine that, but no one really gave it, like, no one really cared about those stats. They mainly cared about who won the solo YOLO.
Bro, for weeks and months, everyone was like, Scum's better than you, bro. He won the solo YOLO.
You're like, I did over 5 maps.
Yeah.
But like it sucks because like the difference, like it's 33K for first. That's not even half of what someone's making in the solo YOLO. It's like 1/3 basically. That's so sad because it's like you're kind of just like, okay, I won the tourney, so now I gotta do it again with 150 solos, which I don't know what's gonna happen this game with, like, say for instance, like no comms, no communication with your teammates or nothing. Like I'll throw myself under the boat. Like I placed, like, I think I had 2 random. I didn't even play the first one in Verdansk, but the second one, I just landed and killed myself in game because I was like, I mean, I know for a fact I have no chance of making 100K playing solo. I was like, I was like, dude, like I'm just gonna run at somebody and die. I know for a fact. Or if I like say you have a 1% chance of winning. Like imagine that. I do not want to go into second, lose.
Yeah.
Then I'm just rethinking my life. Like, what could I have done? Like, should I even be playing this game anymore? Like, I just like, no, it's like to throw into in like a quote, it's either your first or your last, basically done like how it is.
I mean,
It's
bro,
also- Sorry, go.
I mean, I was literally in the World Series like solos, dude. I was literally camping. I was ratting, dude. I was fucking just being the biggest rat I could possibly be. Like the fact that there's no rules, like you kind of could just do anything you want. People just run riot shield, stuns, whatever. Like I think FIFA won with a riot shield and like stims. He was just sitting in zone or something. So like you could literally do whatever you want to just like cheese your way to that win. Like the first ever solo dolo was a guy with a shotgun and stuns, like with a riot shield.
Yeah,
like,
Chow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, there's
man.
really no skill in like being the winner. It's just like,
Well, it's
Can you survive the
purely just
RNG?
for it's just for an entertainment factor.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
the solo YOLO is not going to be competitive at all, and they know that. It's just supposed to be like a wild, crazy entertainment thing. So that's why I don't think the prize pool should be 100K. It should be
Yeah.
like 25K.
exactly.
I think
Yeah,
that's
they
why
don't
they do it.
Like,
They do
Yeah.
it because they know it's not competitive. They this is, remember, these tournaments are marketing for them. Like it's marketing at the end of the day. So like I don't think they'll change it. I'll be honest. I think like the whole 100K is like, that's a big marketing thing for them. It's fun, you know, like, right? But I get it from a competitive standpoint. But here's my counter question to you guys. What do you guys think of crowdfunding? Like a skin, all the proceeds go to like the what's his Warzone, like
They ain't doing that.
playbook.
they
Like,
would never do that.
They'll never do that.
you don't think
They
so?
would lose money. if they did
Their-
that. I mean,
their
they
company
wouldn't get all
values
their money.
Are not the same as companies like Valve. That's all I'm gonna
$1
say.
billion company, and we
Well,
still have
I'll
value
give a
servers.
two-part. I'll give a two-part. So initially going about the prize pool thing, I think that what they could have done in this case is they could have actually made the stage 1 final and the stage 2 final worth less. Like whatever, make it all go to the end, and then the LAN will be worth like 900K instead of 500K.
Yeah.
And then that number would be much higher. Obviously, you'd have to win, but then you'd be on LAN, and then the intro ones, instead of being 150K for EU and NA, it could be like 50K and cool, whatever. It'll be like a basic tournament because we know it's just an entry to the next part. And then the other part is my understanding of that situation with the funding is because Warzone, the game, kind of has its ebbs and flows, and there's new Call of Duties coming out all the time. Those numbers would be drastically different. from year to year. So like, let's
True.
say 1 year, let's say the game is actually popular and the skins are selling like crazy. The value on that would be so insane. And then next year they come out with another COD that's not good or whatever.
Yeah.
Then it's like, shit, they fell off. Last year they had a 6 million pull. This year it's only 2. Like,
True.
but 2 is still more than 1.2, you know? So
Yeah.
I think that's the logistics with it. Other leagues have done it, but it's usually that game and it's that game only for a decade, and they never change it. They never come out with new iterations. It's that game and that game only. And basically it's always pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Versus COD, you don't know
Every
what
year.
the hell you're going to get from year to year. You know? So
Yeah.
Oh man! All right, boys. Listen, man. I think I mean I'm excited for the start of the World Series of Warzone. We got a long about 6 months ahead of us. Look forward to throwing some practice games for you guys, so you guys can get some actual good practice. JGOD and I got some more stuff cooking, so stay tuned, man. Guys, is there anything else before we finish that you guys feel like, oh, we want to talk about anything in particular? I know, like, is there anything? You know, I know HusKerrs said aim assist. But is there anything before we go that you guys just?
One thing I wanted to point out was that they love spreading out the prize pool for teams of 3. It's like top 20 gets paid or whatever, but then there's the solo match where only one person gets paid. Like, you could so easily spread that between top 20 or something. Make it top 5 only gets paid at LAN or something like that.
yeah,
you
top
know?
5 would be cool at
Yeah.
least.
I like that.
I mean, it's crazy because of like it's 50K if you win all 3, and then one match alone just takes over the whole thing.
Yeah.
And everybody's probably just like, no one cares. Like, it doesn't matter at all. Like, they need to at least put the like they said, like, maybe what if the top fragger gets like 10K, or say like top 5 make, I don't know, maybe like 10 to in between 50. Like, that would be smart. But the fact that we have to go through this whole qualifiers to then get out smashed by one game alone in money, like that is just crazy. It kind of throws in the point as to like, what's the point? But then you know,
we're grinding for a champs tweet.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else, boys? Let me know. We good?
Your famous is.
All right, Nerf Famous says, listen, I'm agree to that.
Get rid of live pings, please, for these tourneys, because I mean, it's probably the one main thing besides snipers that's like, if they don't touch if they don't touch snipers, I see this competitive side, well, World Series of Warzone, going down a dark path that not many people would enjoy at all. But as well as like live pings is another thing that there's no way to counter it. Like, you can't just stand still because, I mean, you're just dead basically.
Well, it's kind of weird because like you have those recon drones, but you can still live ping in them. But then they also have like another thing where like if you get close enough, they also live ping too. So like, what's the point in the recon drone like having that ping if you're still able to live ping them while you're in the drone? You know,
like if you're say 50 meters away from somebody, you can live ping them. While the recon itself has, I think it's like a 15 to 20 range. And
That's
then,
crazy.
Like, so you can say throw on like the thermal, someone smoked themselves, but you can still live ping. Like, I could just click right up on my D-pad and I'm live pinging even though I'm so far away from them. Like, I think in a competitive side, live ping should not be a thing because it is broken. It is bad.
I wonder if that's even something that they can do.
Yeah.
I don't think they can, but
Imagine you're going against the best of the best, and the only thing blocking your life in the game is basically a live ping that you can die in 5 bullets. Like, it's not fun.
No, I agree with you. I think that there's definitely ways to fix it, but I want to manage expectations for everybody and just remember that a live ping is probably the least of their concerns, and I would assume that changing that is like changing the right of the actual game, and I wonder if they can take that off for ranked and for World Series of Warzone.
Well, like you said, I think there's realistically minimal things that they can or will do. When it comes to the sniper, there's basically only 2 things they're going to do. They can either nerf it where we said all of them will have glint regardless of what cheesy optic you use. Make them a little bit slower, whatever. But the other thing would be to just make it so that in ranked, the explosive bullets are banned. And then it would still be like, but then the meta would shift towards a high bullet velocity and people would be team shotting or whatever the case would be. And it would change and they would have to adapt to it, but that'd be a different scenario. So I think either A or B or nothing, right? Like it just stays as is. Those I think are probably the three likely options for that.
True. Yeah. So if anybody's listening, any devs, either ban sniper or ban not the snipers, but ban the explosive rounds completely. Or, I mean, I don't even know what else you could do, but I think that's like the easiest solution to all this because obviously we know it's horrible in competitive right now. But
unless there's some kind of like secret movement buff that's coming in season 4, then just leave it as is and we'll adjust. You know?
Yeah. But boys, again, thank you guys for coming out. Again, nerf aim assist. I agree with what HusKerrs said. Nerf aim assist. X Defiant has like minimal aim assist, or has, you know, it's not crazy, and I love it because if people can't shoot straight, you can tell, and you'll be able to gun them.
There's the issue with aim assist in Warzone 2 right now is that it's so strong that for controller players, if you're just looking at their skill, their raw aiming skill, you can barely differentiate between a 2KD player and a 5KD player. Like based on their controller aim, there's no movement. So the only way a person, like a really good controller player, can stand out from another really good controller player is their smarts, like their IQ and their awareness, their game awareness. That's the only way you can stand out. And I think that's a huge flaw, like fundamentally with the game.
And I'll add to this because obviously HusKerrs is a keyboard and mouse player, and people will be like, well, why don't you just switch to controller? The reality is if COD banned keyboard and mouse as an input and we all had to play on controller, even the keyboard and mouse players, they would switch and say it's still too strong. That is the argument, that regardless of what peripheral you're on, it is too strong as an input because of the thing that HusKerrs just mentioned, where you cannot differentiate between a 5KD player and a 2KD player, but you should be able to. Yeah. And you can't.
100%.
I play controller, and I'll still say that aim assist is definitely too OP, even for, like, dude, I'll die to some robot that's in front of me, but like the aim assist, he's just like hip fire.
Crazy.
It just follows me across the screen, so like it's just insane.
That's even a whole separate discussion from like balancing controller versus mouse and key. That's literally just controller players versus controller players.
I just want
to think about how it is from my perspective, from the 1% that play mouse on the game. So
you use your whole arm though.
Yeah, the whole arm.
All right, I'm out.
Wait, listen. I just want people to know that at the end of the day, nerfing aim assist will not affect you. Like if you're a good player, it only affects, I'm gonna be honest, the people who are ass. Like it only affects the casuals, because if you're good if you're nasty at this game, you should be able to aim with, I'm not gonna say minimal, but if they decrease the aim assist, go from Warzone 1 to Warzone 2, the aim assist is drastically different. Even then, Warzone 1 aim assist was still kind of like, you know, a little kind of overpowered. But if you are a controller player, I promise you, nerfing aim assist will probably only make you better, because you can aim better than somebody who plays 1 hour, 2 hours a day. But that's probably why Warzone 2's aim assist is so strong, because they cater towards.
Yeah. But even on top of that, besides that, I still think there are ways for them to nerf aim assist to where the 99.9% casual players would probably hardly notice the difference. But it would make a big difference to like the really competitive players. It would make it a more balanced playing field.
Yeah, what's crazy as well is because
ways to do that.
Like there's not only one aim assist too. There's like 4. And there's different ones. There's some that slow you down before you get to the enemy. So that's just like giving you more chance to hit your shots, because I mean, where's the movement in this game where you're just casually running and you lose your auto attack sprint in 2 steps. So it's like the shots just snap.
Yeah. Well, boys, I mean, I don't know. Do I think they'll ever nerf Aimless? No. But it's worth, screw it. It was worth the discussion, boys. But boys, man, I just want to say thank you guys so much for hopping on the podcast today. Obviously, we're going to continue to do these weekly, and we'll be doing a lot of watch parties for all these competitions. And boys, for all of you guys competing, JGOD and I will be highlighting every single moment of y'all's things. So y'all better be ready. We got drop spots coming. We got KDs coming. We got a lot of shit coming. It's going to be dope, man. So boys, thank you guys for coming. Appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you guys in the next one, baby.